The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Hi everyone, welcome back to The Absurd, our podcast about things that are absurd. Talking mysteries and histories and strange and bizarre goings-on. Stories that are funny and freaky and even frightening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. You're well today?
I'm well today.
You were in at the office today.
I was.
I was working from home today.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you had quite a donut. You sent me a picture of
sure
it. She sent a
did.
picture of this amazing Cadbury cream egg donut.
Yes, from Lady Glaze. Their food truck was there today.
Oh, is that
as
right?
a employee appreciation thingy.
Of course it was. But you
And
had to
a
pay for
delicious
your own
hot
stuff?
chocolate.
Did you have to pay for your own stuff?
No,
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have got it if I had to pay.
And so you had a donut and a hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to test your blood glucose level?
Yeah, I know. Right?
I got the meter here, dude. Hook you up.
But yeah,
cool.
it was very good.
Was HY there?
No, I didn't see him today.
Oh, gosh.
I know. It's weird.
That is odd. Well, I guess month end is over
It's true.
for them. For you
Yeah.
too?
Yep.
Sweet. Good. And look at that. The sun is out.
Yes.
I hate it.
I hate it. Why?
Well, I don't hate the sun because,
We need it.
yeah, my life kind of depends on it
Yeah.
and everyone else's.
Well,
but
yeah. It's all about you.
and everyone else's. But I kind of like the grayishness this time of year. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, we had a weekend. Your weekend was fraught with busyness.
Fraught with
Yeah.
busyness. Yeah.
And we did go to the Pages and Pleasure.
Yes, we did.
What were your thoughts on it?
It was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was better than what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
There was lots of great authors there. We met some really cool people. And, yeah, one of my friends was there. She had a
Yes.
table that I was talking about last time. So,
Nicole.
yeah, Nicole. So she did really well.
She did?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yep, she
Yeah,
did really
good,
well
good.
there. And
Good.
yeah, there were some interesting artifacts.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't as many toys as I thought there was because
No.
I was looking to complete my Tonka construction
Right.
collection, but
Mhm.
yeah, there was nothing there of that nature.
No, but they had some interesting,
Like the cookbook?
yes, the cookbook.
Should I mention it?
You go.
It was cooking with semen.
Yes.
And not like guys who work on ships.
No, not that
Like,
kind.
drop the A.
Uh-huh.
You know?
But it was a notebook. It was just the cover that made it look like a cookbook.
Yeah, no, I got it. But
But,
they did like my joke when I say this dish is not very becoming. Yeah. Gold, Mel, gold.
But, yeah, it was fun.
It was good.
Apparently, there's already talks about having another one. I was talking to Nicole today,
Mm-hmm.
and she was talking to the owner because the organizer, sorry, and they were trying to figure out, how everyone felt about it
Yeah.
and that it was a huge success. And they've already talked about having another one in a few months.
Oh, cool.
And they have people already wanting to register, so...
Well, I mean, I think it was their first one, but judging by the crowd, I would have to assume it was a success.
Yeah.
Because we were there, I think it started at 11, so we were there kind of like halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a long-ass line to get in. Didn't take long,
No.
but it was long. Because I don't know about you, but at first I'm like, Jesus, if we have to wait this whole time, I'm out.
Yeah.
But it moved along briskly.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. If it comes again, we'll mention it if it comes.
Yeah.
Again. See what I did there.
Because I mentioned, I did. Yeah. I mentioned it to my friend Jessica, and she was very keen.
Yeah.
If she'd have known about it, she would have gone.
Yeah.
Because she quite likes herself some romance / smut,
Yes.
as it is so often called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I would like to give a shout out to our highly faithful and known forever Maureen. Hello, Maureen.
Hi, Maureen.
Hey. You work with her,
I do.
so you've known her quite some time. I've known her pretty much since I moved to Elmira, so that'd be like 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she lived on the same street I moved to. She was, I think she's a year older than my brother, so a couple years younger than I am.
Okay.
But I used to hang around with her brothers.
Okay, yeah.
So I've known her for a long time.
Cool.
I was going to say I don't want to say how long, but I've kind of already done
You
that.
already did.
Yeah, I already did that.
Yeah.
Cool, Bill. Cool. Start over because I don't even know what the that meant. I was going to say cool beans, and I don't.
Cool, Bill.
Oh, yeah, you are cool, Bill. Yeah, you're a wild Willie. Yeah, anything else? Your night at Rural Roots was good?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. I did a lot of walking.
Well, like just around the bar? Or?
No, to Rural Roots. I went to a house party first, then went to Rural Roots, and then did the drunken walk of shame back with a poutine.
Where'd you get the poutine?
There was a food truck there. Smoking Q.
Oh,
Food
yeah,
truck
yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
And so we left around just before 10, and they were still open, so we grabbed a poutine for the walk back.
Oh.
It would have been quite the sight to watch me and my friend Christine walking back, just going to town on our poutine. The whole way we're just
You were eating it walking?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
As we're intoxicated, I'm sure it was lovely.
Did you go home then?
I didn't go straight home.
Yeah, I was
no.
going to say you weren't going home that early.
No, I went to her place for a bit, had a fire, and then I walked
I
home.
don't think I know Christine. She sounds lovely, though.
She is lovely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Does she listen to the show?
I don't know.
I don't like her as well, then. You should talk to her and say, hey, you know what you should do? Remember how good that poutine was? There's nothing compared to our show.
Yeah, right.
That's what you should say. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in the news announcement kind of
Nope.
theme.
Not at this time, no.
Have you ever heard of a musician called Poppy?
Ha 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 ha.
That'll teach you.
Ha ha.
So, we got some stories today,
I got
kids.
one.
We got good, juicy, blow your mind kind of stories
Oh,
today.
I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that.
You'll see.
Still thinking about the pages and pleasure, I see.
No. No, I can't say anything more about that.
Okay.
They had a good beer, though. It was a bit dear, as they
Oh, the
always
Detour?
are. Yeah,
The
it's a
Muskoka Detour.
great beer.
Yeah, it is a good beer.
I don't generally drink canned or bottled beers. Like I prefer draft.
Yeah.
And $9 for a regular size
Yeah,
can
it
is
was a bit
over
overkill.
the top. But they won't set that. It'll just be Binghamans or whomever ran the bar that sets it. But
Yeah, for sure.
it was delicious. What was really weird is I hadn't even eaten yet that day, so that was the first thing to go in my gullet. It was awesome.
You could have got a penis chocolate. There was some over there on the table.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have got you one.
Yeah, I'd have eaten it.
Yeah.
You know, eat a dick.
Yeah.
Eat a chocolate dick.
I'm sure they were tasty.
I'm not going to answer that.
They had white icing on them.
Of course they did. All right. Moving along. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a story for us.
I do.
I think I heard on the street that it's about bears.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this because I like bears.
Do you like teddy bears, though?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
You know, as pathetic as it is, I don't really care what anyone says. I not infrequently catch myself singing the song Teddy Bear's Picnic. Do you know the song?
Yes, I know the
I
song.
love that thing. It's rocking. Okay, anyway.
I'm
giddy
still
up.
got to find you a Teddy Ruxpin somewhere.
You don't have to do that at all. It's quite all right.
Okay,
Thank
find
you.
me one then, because
Oh, sure.
I would love one.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this is about Germany's bizarre obsession with posing with polar bear mascots
Oh,
in 1920 to 1970.
oh, that long?
Yes.
Yikers.
These pictures are glorious. I can't wait for to do some infographics on it because
Cool.
it's so funny. These photographs were taken in early and mid 20th century Germany shows anonymous people posing alongside actors dressed as polar bears.
Huh.
The pictures, part of a Teddybären collection, were compiled between the end of the First World War and the late 1960s by Jean-Marie Donat. Donnet is probably how it's
Doesn't sound
pronounced.
German.
After he stumbled across a snapshot of someone dressed as a polar bear walking down a street in Berlin, he went to spend 20 years hunting down photos of other bear impersonators, spanning 4 decades and originating from places across Germany. Now his many found images are together in a book called Teddybären. Bar is German for bear.
Sure is.
When the photos certainly look silly and absurd, they transmit a strange feeling. The bear's poses vary only slightly and has a shaggy grin. The painful history of Germany unfolds around these pictures. The cheerful Nazi soldiers are replaced later with smiling American soldiers, all while the bear remains unchanged. The origins of the bizarre tradition are a bit of a mystery. However, some sources claim that the polar bear craze started in the early 1920s when 2 actual polar bears arrived at the Berlin Zoo. Families came from all over the country to see the bears and get their pictures taken in front of the zoo with the guys in bear suits who stood outside the gates to welcome tourists. And this gave rise to a nationwide phenomenon that lasted until the late 1960s. The first bear suits worn by humans were used in ritual practices by native peoples. In the modern day, they are a popular choice for a mascot. Realistic bear suits are commonly used in film and on stage due to the bear's prominent role in the arts and entertainment. These pictures look ridiculous, though.
I look forward to seeing them.
They are ridiculous because it's like, picture like a nice family photo.
Okay.
And someone dressed up as a big giant polar bear.
My uncle. Oh, no. Does it look like a convincing polar bear outfit?
No.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, I figured.
Some of them are absolutely terrifying, and it shows some with like kids, and the kids are all like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, I would have ran away in fear. I might still, actually.
So they don't look anything like Carlton.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, nothing like that.
That's
They're just scary.
The mascot for the Toronto Maple Leafs is a polar bear named Carlton.
No, he looks lovely and friendly. These just look terrifying.
You know why his name's Carlton?
I do not.
Because Maple Leaf Gardens was on Carlton Street.
Oh, there you go.
Do you know Carlton, the bear's favorite food is?
Oh, God, what?
Nachos with cheese from from the arena. I remember reading that years ago.
Okay.
Which is kind of like one of your favorite foods, too.
I love nachos and cheese.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting how you said they're the pictures of cheerful Nazi soldiers. There's 2 words that don't go together, right?
No.
Cheerful Nazi.
No.
That would have been a good name. No, it's a terrible name for anything,
it's-
actually.
it's- no.
But you know what? You made me think. So this might have all been inspired by the arrival of 2 polar bears at the Berlin Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you know, of course, Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
You know who Winnie the Pooh is. He likes honey.
Winnie the Pooh, snug the little cuddly something. I can't remember the rest.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Okay. I believe you.
Snuggly cuddly something all wrapped in honey or something like that.
Ew.
I can't remember.
Why would you want to be wrapped in honey?
He likes honey.
Yeah, but not wrapped in it.
I don't know.
You'd be
I
sticking
don't know what
everything.
his kink is. Maybe
But
he likes it.
You know where, so Winnie the Pooh, you know the story about that, right? And the Canadian connection to that?
Yes.
So he was like a mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Real Bear was a mascot for, I don't remember the name of the regiment, but they were from Winnipeg. And the First World War. And when they went over to England, and then they were going to France or Belgium, wherever. They couldn't take the bear with them, obviously. So they gave it to the London Zoo. And it was named Winnie because of Winnipeg. And then A.A. Milne, the author of Winnie the Pooh, was taking his son, Christopher, to the zoo. And the kid, well, you've seen the vignette, refers to the bear as Winnie the Pooh. So there you go. It was
There
a
you
bear
go.
from Manitoba.
The more you know.
Yeah. Like that.
Like that.
No, I look forward to these pictures, and I'm definitely going to put some infographics.
Oh, there's so many good ones to choose from.
Who doesn't love polar bears?
That's true.
I do. I mean, they're terrifying.
I mean, behind a cage or something.
Yeah.
Or far away.
I don't want to be bitten by one.
No, because
They mess you up.
they will mess you up.
Speaking of animals that can mess you up,
Go ahead.
do you like wolves?
Well, I mean, I don't want to hang out with those either, but
But they're pretty cool looking.
yeah.
You would agree with that? Mm-hmm. Right. So I actually had a different story that I was going to do today. But at the last minute, I changed it to this one. And I saw that this is a really recent news story. It just came out a few days ago. And I saw it a couple days ago. I'm like, God, that'd be a good story. So that's what I'm going to do.
All right, give it to me.
I'm doing it. A $10 billion technology startup said on Monday, this is a week Monday, it had successfully created 3 dire wolves, a long-lost species, an announcement the company hailed as a milestone in de-extinction, and that conservationists said accelerated an urgent debate about the impact of this technology on existing nature. The company, Dallas-based Colossal Biosciences, said 2 male pups had been born in October, named Remus and Romulus, and a third, a female named Khaleesi, more recently. Now, if you think, wow, that's cool, that's neat. Well, here's the thing. The company's scientists sequenced DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull. They then made edits to the genome of a gray wolf to mimic traits in dire wolves, including its heavier body, wider head, bigger jaw, and lighter fur. The public may be more familiar with dire wolves for their role in the popular Game of Thrones series. But the real dire wolves once ranged across North America and went extinct near the end of the last ice age, approximately 13,000 years ago.
Interesting.
By the way, the author of Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin, cried when he met the pups.
Really?
Yeah. Gabriella Mastromonaco, a reproductive scientist and chief science officer at the Toronto Zoo, said the advance should jolt Canada into engaging with the debate that the rapid advance of these biotechnologies has provoked. Both the dire wolf and the woolly mammoth, Colossal's signature but as yet unrealized de-extinction project, historically inhabited Canadian environments. The Canadian government absolutely needs to be paying attention now, Mastromonaco said Monday. Environment and Climate Change Canada did not immediately say whether the department had any concerns, questions, or interactions with the company related to the project when asked for comment. Colossal did not reveal where the animals were being housed, only that they were in a 2,000-acre, secure, expansive ecological preserve that is protected by 10-foot-tall zoo-grade fencing and a secondary perimeter. What does that remind you of?
What?
Well, these animals that have been brought back, created...
Oh, like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Even those concerned about the role of de-extinction in conservation said the company had made impressive scientific advances in creating the animals, in particular carrying out multiple genome edits at once. It shows the power and, I think, extraordinary pace at which these technologies are developing, said Dan Ash, the president and CEO of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. Cool gig. They're obviously moving very quickly. Many scientists question whether de-extinction is an accurate word, because the animals created with these technologies carry the genomes of living species genetically edited to carry the traits of long-lost ones. They are proxies, not perfect replicas. Remember, these aren't clones, per se.
Right.
Nevertheless, the announcement is certain to heighten the wider debate over ethics and environmental risks and benefits that erupted when Colossal was founded in 2021 by Lamb, an entrepreneur, and George Church, a geneticist who popularized the idea of de-extinction years earlier. While some in the conservation community are hopeful and excited about using these tools to save species on the brink of extinction right now, others see the work of Colossal and its competitors as a dangerous distraction. We can't protect what we already have, Ash said. Master Monaco echoed that concern and raised others, including the biosecurity risks of putting these animals in an outdoor enclosure. If one of the company's dire wolves, which genetically are gray wolves with 20 edits on 14 gene sites, were to escape, Master Monaco said they could absolutely interbreed with existing wolves. We have no understanding of the impact on nature, she said.
Well.
And by the way, these pups are adorable.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah, man. Like, I want 3.
Yeah.
You know. I think they grow up pretty big.
Yeah.
And they're wolves. They're badass, dude.
Absolutely.
You know, wolves mess you up. Like, when I was up north, there were lots of bears, but they didn't really pay them much mind. Just, you know, you didn't go up and try to pet them or anything. Mm-hmm. But they don't see you as food. You know, they're black bears. They mostly eat berries and, you know, good stuff. Wolves, yeah, they're not down with plants. They only eat meat.
Yeah, I had a somewhat of a run-in with a wolf once.
Like a human kind or four-legged kind?
You know, human kind.
Oh.
Like a werewolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
No.
good. That's
I
good.
mean, I've had some guys that I've dated. But,
Whoa.
no.
They were
Anyway.
hairy.
When I lived in BC, my ex, we would go hiking a lot.
Yep.
And there was one mountain that we decided to hike up, camp, come back.
See that mountain? One day I'm going to climb that mountain. Sorry.
Well, we did climb it.
Okay, go ahead.
And anyway, so the day that we came back, we took our time coming back down the mountain.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out by the little creek area. And I was like, it's starting to get dark. We should probably go.
Good idea.
And, you know, when you're out in open water, it's brighter
Yeah,
than it is in the forest.
Uh-huh.
Well, we start walking back, and it was pitch black.
Don't like it.
I was petrified. So I remember grabbed onto my boyfriend's arm, and I had my head down, and I just looked at my feet. And he kept telling me, he's like, just look at your feet. Just look at your feet.
Why would you look at your feet?
So I'm not looking around to see what's out there.
Yeah, but you should be looking straight forward so you can know where you're walking.
No, we were on a path at this point.
Okay.
So he was leading the way.
Yeah.
And we get back to the car. We get in the car, turn the lights on, wolf.
What? In front of you?
Right in front of the car.
Sweet.
And then we pull out and we start to leave the parking lot. There's another one. And we were heading out down the street a bit more, and we saw 2 more. And I'm like, oh my God. And I asked him, I said, did you see any when we were walking? He said, 100% I saw them, because you could see their eyes, right?
Right.
They're like cat eyes where they kind of glow a bit.
Yeah.
And he's like, definitely saw them. He's like, that's why I told you to keep looking at your feet. Because I would have like freaked out. And
Imagine if like the car had been further away.
oh, it was.
No,
I
but I mean, like if they had time to close in.
Right.
Right? 'Cause
Right.
It sounds like they were stalking you.
Probably, because
Right.
we had been walking for probably 10 minutes, I'd say,
Right.
from the water point that we were at to the car.
That's good, though. I mean, because if you had gotten eaten, you wouldn't be here to do the show.
It's true.
Probably not.
That's true.
Yeah. Wow, that is heavy, man.
Yeah.
I like them, though. Like, they're cool
Well,
animals.
I'm good now.
Hey, knock, knock.
Oh, God. Who's there? Who?
Werewolves London.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Are you done now?
What do you mean, talking about wolves?
I don't know, just talking in general.
But yeah, but it's cool. Like, what do you think about that? Like, what do you think of them doing such?
What's the point?
Well, so from this de-extinction position, so let's say one of the things they talk about was red wolves, which I've never heard of but there's only about 20 left on Earth.
Okay.
So imagine if they can repopulate it to a point where it's no longer extinction level.
I think for animals that we currently have, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But if you're bringing back animals from eons ago,
right?
Maybe they're extinct for a reason.
What's the reason?
I don't know. That's why I said maybe.
Right. Okay.
And to bring them back now in this world, and
what do you
don't
mean,
know.
like with the political climate? Do you think
Yes.
woolly mammoths won't come back because they're liberal, and it's not a good time for liberals? I'd like a wool. It'd be cool if woolly mammoths were around, though, wouldn't it be?
It would be cool. Yeah.
But I sent this article to Jessica last night, and then she said apparently velociraptors aren't as dangerous as they seem, and I'm like, well, who says? She's like, scientists.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
right?
but how do you know? Nobody's
and that's just it. And I've always said that too. I'm like, well, how do they know that's what the dinosaurs supposed to look at? What if someone was just messing with them and the dinosaurs are like, let's line these up so it looks completely different than what we actually look like?
Sorry, you think the dinosaurs are deliberately deceived?
Yeah.
Future scientists 65 million years later.
Yeah.
In a species that didn't yet exist.
Yeah.
I see.
They're
well,
like,
they are crafty.
Let's mess these guys up.
Okay, but how did the T-Rexes do? Because they have those teeny tiny short arms.
That's true. They just fall over and they're like, oh no.
Like it can't even reach
how
their
they
wallet.
got up when they fell.
Roll. They have a tail though. It's kind of like a third leg.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, that's what I say. Like, as long as I don't really care about dire wolves, I think it's kind of cool. But if they start bringing back like T-Rexes,
yeah,
I'm out.
I'm good.
I'm going to move to an island where there's no T-Rexes.
Newfoundland.
Oh, they'll be there.
Will they now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because T-Rexes love cod.
They love the Newfies, do they?
Well, they will. Till they're gone. But you kind of got a story that's semi-related.
Kind of, yeah.
This is darker, though.
It is.
A lot darker.
It made me really uncomfortable.
Oh.
So I'm going to talk about it.
Please do. Yes, proceed.
Scientists have unveiled a disturbing plan to grow soulless spare human bodies that can be used for medical experiments and even meat.
Right.
The so-called bodyoids, that was the word I was trying to find earlier.
Bodyoids?
Bodyoids.
All right.
Would be grown in artificial wombs and have the eerie ability to withstand endless pain. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
I see some application here.
The scientist, Karsten Charlesworth,
Oh,
Henry
great
Greeley.
name. Karsten? Charlesworth.
Karsten Charlesworth, yes.
That's good.
Henry Greeley and Hiromitsu
Japanese.
Nakachi
Yeah.
made their bizarre pitch at an MIT technology review and explained that the Frankenstein-esque plan would revolutionize medicine. They said the zombie-ish bodies would be key to testing out new medicines and growing human organs for transplants. The plan would become a reality by using stem cells, one of the earliest cell types to form during human development. The stem cells have already been used to grow organic matter and most recently helped to successfully create a structure that resembles a human embryo. Researchers hope to grow the fetuses entirely outside of a body in artificial uteruses, which are already being tested in labs. I watched some videos on this, and it freaked me out. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So they have successfully done this?
They don't say that for sure, but they're working on it. Okay. However you want to paint that picture.
Okay.
They plan on using genetic techniques to stunt brain production and ensure the body lacks any sort of emotion. It's messed up. Once they're grown, the bodies could address any ethical problems in modern medicine, offering ways to avoid unnecessary pain and suffering. One of these issues, according to the brazen scientists, is sourcing ethical meat. They wrote, for example, they could offer an ethical alternative to the way we currently use non-human animals for research and food, providing meat or other products with no animal suffering or awareness. The researchers admitted their plan poses endless ethical questions, obviously, but stressed the world of possibilities that it could open up if spare bodies were developed. They pointed out how medical researchers have been primarily relying on animals for testing, which isn't always directly transferable to human treatments.
True.
Plus, the testing potentially tortures the creatures as they're sediment and feel pain.
Yeah.
According to the researchers, endless drugs are constantly being tested, but very few of them get cleared for safe use on people. That's because the meds have been performed on live humans in clinical trials that risk harm to patients and can take a decade or longer to complete. Only about 15% of these trials are actually successfully completed, the researchers said. The scientists pointed to over 100,000 Americans who are currently waiting for a solid organ transplant and stressed that the crisis isn't stopping anytime soon. They also noted that medical students rely on people who opt to donate their bodies to science for necessary training in school. At the end of the bizarre essay, the scientists made a desperate plea to start testing on rodents as soon as possible. They said, until recently, the idea of making something like a bodyoid would have been regulated to the realms of science fiction, but now it is at least plausible and possibly revolutionary. It is time for it to be explored. Is it, though?
Well, wow, first off.
Yes.
That's
so I watched,
huge.
The artificial womb part was messed up. So they had a whole video on this site that I was looking at.
Right.
And they were showing what they would do and how they would work and how they would feed them. And it just...
So these, let's call, what are the bodyoids?
Bodyoids.
So they start off as embryos and they're born, they become infants, and then they grow the normal way.
Yeah.
Okay. They obviously have brains with which to operate the body, operate the organs. Maybe it doesn't say anything, but like, can they communicate? Like, do they have the intelligence?
That's the thing.
Okay.
Like, are they aware of what's happening, that they're just a lab rat?
Well, so when they said in the article title, whatever, like soulless, I'm not getting into that crap.
Right.
I don't mean it's crap. Like,
no, I know what you're saying,
but
though. If it's alive, it has a soul. On some level.
Does it?
I think so.
Well, okay, but that's what I mean. That comes down to a belief system.
Yeah.
Do dogs have souls? Right. Okay.
You know, how do you answer that? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't, and that's why I choose not to at all.
Yep.
The fact that they don't have us, because that's a religious aspect, which is up to the individual.
Sure.
But what I mean is, okay, so are they a human being? Mm-hmm. Like, how do we determine that? Like, I know that there's been lots of work at making artificial meat. Like, let's say beef.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not cloning a cow and then butchering it. You're literally creating a substance that is very much like meat, same texture, same taste, blah blah blah, so that way they don't have to kill animals. Okay.
Yeah.
And not to kill animals. It's not some friggin' vegetarian, apocalypse, but more because it takes a lot of land, a lot of water, a lot of resources to raise a cow. Mm-hmm. So they can produce it. Awesome.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting argument. Like if you got a kid or yourself, you're waiting for like a kidney transplant,
mm-hmm.
and there's no donors, and you're going every day for dialysis.
Yeah.
Well, what if they can lab produce a kidney?
Mm-hmm.
Not a human, just the kidney.
Right.
Would that be okay? Where's
the line, right?
Exactly.
That's the thing, yeah.
I am playing devil's advocate here,
Yep.
but I'm not sure what my opinion is. Like,
and they say that they can, change the brain makeup, for lack of a better term, for, to get rid of emotion, to get rid of pain, to get rid of any sort of concept of where you are or what's happening, I guess. I don't know. There's so many questions.
It is a toughie, and I'm positive there are a number of years out from achieving this.
Right.
Yeah, this is not my area of expertise.
Right.
Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
I find it fascinating. I don't pretend to get it. Like the one I just did on the dire wolves about the editing genes. I know what that means. I have no concept of what's actually involved.
For sure.
Not a clue.
Yeah, yeah.
But I see the pros and cons of your story. You know, if you could,
the womb part, they were showing like how the baby would grow inside, and you know, they're trying to sell it with, you know, people that can't have kids and they can't grow their own baby, so they put it in this artificial womb to grow the baby, and talking about like NICU babies and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I could kind of get around that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was still a very weird, uncomfy feeling.
But it'll be like in 50 years, it'll be like mostly girls, but it'll be like a toy set. But it'll, instead of like Chia Pet, it'll be like baby, and you know what I mean, like
sea monkeys.
Grow your own baby. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't like this one. Ooh.
Oh no! Oh, okay, let's go into. Let's keep moving past that one.
My brain is going so many places right now. So uncool. But no, that's a cool story, man.
It's bizarre.
It's, you know, so it's like, you know, right now we've got, I don't know how many people are aware, but everybody's aware about AI, artificial intelligence, you know, and we use like Chat GPT and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you've ever seen like the first Terminator movie, ever seen it? Mm-hmm. That's what that's all about, right? Mm-hmm. What do they call it? Skynet. Mm-hmm. And it's artificial intelligence that's invented by the United States,
of course,
military complex to operate, to take control of the missile system so that you remove the human element, right? And studies were done by that in the 70s, you know, of the guys in the missile silos. Some of them wouldn't launch when the order came to launch. It wouldn't, because like, I don't want millions of lives.
No.
Right?
No.
Now, this is also the beginning of the fantastic movie War Games. Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy. If you know who I mean.
No.
Ali Sheedy was in Breakfast Club. The freak girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Matthew Broderick, if you don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know who Matthew Broderick is. Yes,
okay.
I know who that
but it's a
is.
great movie. Early 80s. But AI, it decides, you know what? Humans are a liability. Humans are a cancer on the earth. They take way more resources than they need. They don't care about ruining the planet. They'll wipe out species. They'll wipe out each other. Hey, and you know what? They're right. And they decide, you're gone. We're getting rid of the humans.
Yeah.
And that's Terminator. That's AI. When it hits a, what do you call it? Like a singularity, like it starts to learn.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like robots. Who was it? Carl Sagan? I can't remember who the author was. But to put a rule in robots is saying you may never harm a human. And that goes back to like the 1950s, before there were robots.
Yeah.
Let's hope they put that shit in.
Yeah.
But these ones, yeah, like no pain, no fear.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Be good soldiers, wouldn't they? Terrifying.
I don't like it.
Terrifying. Well, I have something that will hopefully make you feel better.
Okay.
Now, you had a donut today, a Cadbury cream egg donut, which sounds only amazing. Did you have anything else to eat today?
I had a little bit of lunch, but nothing.
All right.
Nothing
But you
major.
would say
I was very full after that donut.
you like food.
I do.
Yeah. Well, and I think most people enjoy food. You know, there's some of those creeps who only eat to survive, and I don't like them. Because food is a joy. It is one of life's pleasures, hedonistic though it may be. And food varies all over the world, tremendously, right? Even here in the city, you and I could go out and, you know, experience a multitude of different culinary dishes, depending on where we went. And in some places, they eat things like dogs and cats. And I don't really want to eat a dog, but I eat cows and pigs and chickens. It's not a great difference, you know, in the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
But we, right now, are going to look at some food items, some dishes, if you will, from around the world. We're not going to, this is not about, you know, casting aspersions or ridiculing the item, the food item that they're using, but more questioning the process.
Okay.
How in God's name did you decide, you know what might be good? We are going to start with the century egg. This is in China, where I don't really know why, but the Chinese seem to have the most expansive list of what I would classify as strange foods. Not judging, but it's odd.
Okay.
This is the century egg. To some, a century egg might look as if it belongs in a museum rather than on a plate. The egg's white ranges from golden amber to an unusual translucent black. Its yolk contains merging rings of soft green, yellow, and gray, and the center is soft, dark, and oozing. Getting hungry?
Yeah, starving.
People unused to these preserved eggs tend to perceive their odd coloring and odor with horrified fascination and can be hesitant to try them. Yeah, I'm not trying it.
No.
In fact, most mass-produced century eggs take less than a fortnight, 2 weeks to us non-British types, to cure, whereas the more traditional ones are cured under a coating of ash, tea, slaked lime, salt, and often earth for about 3 months. Sometimes commercially produced eggs are cured in lye, or, if from China, zinc or lead oxide.
Oh, wonderful.
The last of which is poisonous and should thus be avoided. Good idea.
You think?
Yeah. Duck, chicken, and other poultry eggs are used. A century egg is usually eaten peeled but uncooked, often with pickled spring ginger. It may also be simmered with congee, rice porridge, and salted dried pork or steamed with spinach, garlic, and another type of Chinese preserved egg, salted eggs. A century egg tastes rich, complex, and pungent, like ripe blue cheese with a very faint hint of ammonia. A spoiled century egg has a strong ammonia scent. So how do you know the difference? The texture of its white, which a treatment turns amber or black, is gelatinous, and its yolk is soft. God, my stomach is growling.
Yeah, right.
You don't think you'd want to try that?
I don't. No?
You're not a big cheese fan, are you?
Yeah, right.
Or are you? Oh, it is you who is. Yeah. Well, have I got a cheese for you?
Oh, God.
No, it's from Italy.
Okay.
This is casu marzu, also known as maggot cheese.
Oh, I've heard of this.
This traditional Sardinian dish is sheep's milk cheese, famous for containing live insect larvae.
No.
Apparently, these wiggling little maggots are supposed to enhance the flavor, but are prone to jump when they panic, so watch your eyes. Some people suffocate them or kill the beasties in the fridge before consuming, but others go for the live version.
That's gross.
Sometimes they survive the stomach and burrow into your intestines.
What?
I find that very unlikely, because stomach acid would kick its ass.
I think.
Still. Okay, now, so you're not down with that cheese?
No,
Okay.
no.
So now we're going to go to South Korea for sanakaji. Sanakaji. Something like that. Should be a vowel in there, make my life easier. This dish is a dish of live, wriggling octopus tentacles, served fresh and raw with a dash of sesame oil. You like calamari?
No.
Really? I don't know either. The suckers on the tentacles have been known to latch on inside consumers' throats.
Stop.
So perhaps chow down with a little extra care.
Oh,
If this doesn't make your stomach squirm, we've got plenty more. All right. No, you're not down with that?
no.
Okay, let's go to Iceland, okay?
Okay.
We'll have a nice dish of hakaro. The rotting carcass of a Greenland or basking shark. It's buried underground in a shallow pit and pressed with stones, so the poisonous internal fluids that allow it to live in such cold waters can be drained out. making the meat safe to eat. After this, it's hung out to dry before being cut into strips and served. With a smell that's described as ammonia-rich and a strong fishy flavor, it was described by Anthony Bourdain, if you know who he is, as, quote, the single worst, most disgusting and terrible tasting thing he'd tried. No for that one?
No.
All right. Well, we're going to end back in China, and we're going to have another egg dish.
Okay.
Okay. These are called virgin boy eggs.
Okay.
Virgin boy eggs are a unique springtime snack from Dongyang, China, where eggs are boiled in urine collected from young boys, preferably under 10 years old, and are considered a local delicacy.
That's not true.
Now you're asking, hey, Rod, how are they made? Well, Mel, raw eggs are soaked and boiled in a pot of urine. The shells of the hard-boiled eggs are cracked. The eggs are then simmered in urine for hours. Vendors must keep pouring urine into the pot.
Stop it.
And controlling the fire to prevent the eggs from being overheated. Many residents believe that eating these eggs energizes the body, improves blood circulation, and prevents heat stroke. You should take these on the dragon boat. According to writers, the eggs are popular for their fresh and salty taste.
Oh, God.
Now, are you saying, are there any concerns, Rod? Well, yes, there may be some concerns, health concerns with these eggs. While some believe in the traditional health benefits, Chinese medical experts have given mixed reviews with some warning about sanitary issues.
You think?
No shit. It is a real thing.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely.
That's disgusting.
How did they arrive upon?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's pretend that it's perfectly normal to use urine to boil eggs, okay? Why does it matter if it's A, a boy, B, a virgin?
Yeah.
Does that somehow affect the quality
Apparently
of the urine?
It does.
Really? Oh.
Oh,
how did you ever arrive upon that?
No
if
idea.
it's that's why I said at the beginning, not about the material. Like, if you decide, yeah, squirrel's amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
But
maggots go in your cheese, and then you're like, wonder what that tastes like.
But it's still like they wouldn't hurt you. People eat grubs. That's quite. I mean, not nobody I know. But, I mean, it's a survival technique. And if you found maggots and you were starving to death, they would keep you alive. Oh, God. You know what I mean? But, like, where in the... Okay, well, you know what these eggs need? We need some urine.
God, I hate maggots so much.
But they won't do nothing to you. They're just baby flies.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Well, they're going to do what they're going to do. But that
urine
urine
We had them in our
thing,
house once.
What?
In our first house that we had.
Well, what did you have lying around? They don't just, they don't
That's
eat
just
walls.
It. So when our first house that we had in our dining area, we had our table in there, and that's where Addison used to eat.
Oh, this is like with the kitty kids time. Okay.
So she would eat in there on the carpet. And I guess something fell and we didn't see it or got into the carpet. Who knows what it was. I don't remember now.
Yeah.
And I was cleaning up. I had moved the table to clean up everything.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of maggots around it. And I just about lost my ever-loving mind.
What did you do?
Oh, I got Mark to clean it up.
You chicken.
He went and got the shop vac and
They're
put it in there. And
it's not like they can come after you.
I know, but it's so nasty. It just, to me, it's dirty. It just,
it's
dirty.
No, you're
right?
not wrong there. Yeah. Like I said, you don't
burn
get
the house
them,
down.
You don't get them just cause.
No.
But it's like, fruit flies. Where the hell do they come from?
Oh, I know. They're the worst.
Yeah, you bring fruit into your house.
Yeah.
And they'll end up there.
Yes.
Because they came in on the fruit.
Yeah.
Right? They're larvae.
Yeah.
You know how some flies are smaller than others?
Yeah.
People have said, that's a younger fly. It's not true.
I have no idea.
All flies are born adult. It's because they didn't get enough nourishment when they were a maggot. Ugh. So you should have let them eat. You should have
let them into my house to eat the rotten food on the floor.
Well, they used to use them in medicine.
Yeah. For what?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you asked, Mel. They would put them on the wound to eat dead skin. Well, because it would help prevent infection and gangrene.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to eat. Like if you put a maggot on your arm, it's not going to do anything.
Oh, can we stop talking about maggots?
No. It wouldn't do anything. But because it only eats dead skin. But
I had a spider on me last night.
Cool.
No. I was helping Addison in the bath. and I had a black I had a black sweater on.
Yeah.
And so I had my arms like this kind of in the tub.
Oh.
And I just looked and I went, Addison? I leaned into her and I'm like, Addison, is that a spider or lint? And she goes, spider? Because she knows I hate them and she was glad that there was a spider on me.
Right. Addison.
So I freaked out and I smacked it. Well, it went in the tub. Aww. And then now she's backing up in the tub trying to get away from the spider.
You killed it?
So I scooped it up with the water bucket.
Yeah.
And it was a big spider too. Just to be perched on my shoulder. And then I'm I'm over dramatizing it when I was with her because she gets joy out of other people suffering.
Right. I get it.
So she's laughing hysterically because I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
So, it did die because it went in the tub. And
spiders are good, though.
And I flushed it.
But they're good.
Okay, just not on me.
Because I remember one time, decades ago, I was with my then brother's girlfriend. No, nothing like that. And I had a lot more hair. Tell me more. I had a lot more hair then. And she's, hang on a second. And she reaches up. There's a spider in my hair. Spiders don't bother me. I don't, I don't want big ones around me or anything. Or poisonous. But they do good work, man. If there wasn't spiders, we'd be cooked. Yeah. Right? There'd be a lot of bugs kicking our asses.
I get that. I just don't want them around me, on me, or in my house.
Now you deleted one.
Yeah, I did.
I hope it's friends.
Well, he shouldn't have been on me.
I hope it's friends and family come back for you in the night.
I'm itchy.
Good.
From maggots and spiders. And
good. How about maggot spiders? Maggots with 8 legs. That run really fast.
Yeah, no. Okay. Awesome. On to something else.
Well, that's
it.
That's it for the food.
That's it.
Yeah, you still hungry?
I am.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to make you choose.
Okay.
You have to choose one of the dishes that I said. So you've got the century egg, which when you see the picture, you're not eating it. It's revolting. No. The maggot cheese, which you've showed a personal interest in. The South Korean, what was it? Was it fish?
Yeah, the decaying shark.
No, that's Greenland.
Oh, was that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, this one bothers me most. It's the wriggling octopus tentacles.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't like that idea. I don't like that. At all. I don't want my food moving when it's going in me. Yeah. Not when it can attach to my friggin' esophagus. Oh, that sounds good. No. Somebody pull it out.
I will starve to death.
Or the shark. Or the virgin boy eggs.
I can't. No, none of them. I can't. I don't think I could choose.
I'm almost closest to saying virgin boy eggs. Yeah, no. I'll eat my own fingers.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so I am kind of hungry though, but I don't think I'm going to get anything that exotic.
No, probably not. No.
Yeah. Got anything to say to our lovely listeners? We love them, don't we?
We do.
We do.
We'd love you even more if you go to Spotify and give us a 5-star rating. Yeah. We're on Spotify, Apple,
or whatever streaming service you use.
Or whatever you use, we're there.
Yeah, if you use Deezer, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we're up to 3 people that I personally know use Diva.
Yes. But yeah, go check us out. Go
Yes,
check
please.
us out on Facebook, Instagram, all the fun places.
And if you are on
Send
social
us a
media,
message.
Yeah, send us a message. Just say
Tell
hi.
us what you like.
Yeah.
What you don't like.
Yeah, if you've
We're
got
happy.
recommendations.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like, you know what? Yeah, Mel's awesome, but she's just too something.
She's just too something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And if you're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we'd be really pleased if you would follow us.
Yes.
You know, let's get them numbers up. We like it so far. It's good.
Yeah.
And we want to keep going and going
We're
and going.
coming up to a year.
It is very
That's
nearly a
crazy.
year. I know. Weird. Sometime in May,
Crazy.
isn't it?
I think it
Early
was May 20th was
it?
our first
Was it?
episode that we dropped.
Right.
We've
beat.
been recording for a while before that.
Yes,
but,
we were and was.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's Netzoid.
It is. It's
Bonkers.
Bodyoid. No, what were they called?
Bodyoid.
Bodyoid, yeah.
Body yada 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 yada.
Ooh, way.
Body crazy,
Well,
crazy
anyway,
race.
do stop by our socials
Yes.
and visit, but more importantly, listen to us, please.
Yeah.
And give us a share. Tell some people.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, of course, we will be back next week. Stay on Facebook and Instagram and watch for our infographics about the stories we cover.
Mm-hmm.
We do one for each story. And yeah, like Mel said, contact us.
Yes.
We like you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you again, everyone, for coming by and listening. And we hope you have a great week. So take good care of yourselves and each other.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mel. Music by Audionautics.com.